Hey everybody, welcome on in here. This is Tanner with the Sports Buffoons here, and I got a new segment show for you guys. It's called Bubba's Place. Bubba's Place is going to be about maybe 1 to 3 shows per week, based off of different sports topics. It's going to be anywhere from NFL, NBA, MLB, NCAA, maybe just fantasy football. Maybe I just want to talk about a topic going on in the way. But the next few shows will mainly be NFL, of course, because that's our hot topic right now. But yeah, like I said, it's going to last about 10 to 20 minutes here. Sometimes go a little over, but hoping to get at least a couple shows a week out here where we can sit down, have a drink, and we can chat kind of what's been going on here over the weekend or maybe during the week, or some big topics as well, and get some thoughts. So yeah, I'd be happy for you guys to interact with me as well. Leave a comment, hit me up on Twitter at Sports Buffoons, and let's conversate here. So guys, today week 1 is officially in the books here. The Oakland Raiders, after a wild overtime finish, did come away with the victory. So we are officially done with week 1 in the NFL season, and what a wild ride it has been. Obviously, I'm a Chiefs fan, so that Cleveland game was pretty crazy till after halftime. But obviously, there's a lot to it to take, and we'll discuss that more on Wednesday's show. So guys, also don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, or even download, or whatever you gotta do. Like I said, come tweet us here at Sports Buffoons. We are live every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central on YouTube. Live on YouTube, search Sports Buffoons. You'll see our upcoming tag there. So, but hey guys, today's Bubba's Place show here. Let's talk some fantasy football. That's the big key, right? We just all went through drafts, went through off season, tons of mock drafts. But let's talk about some stuff that went on during this weekend on fantasy football. So, obviously, all my leagues are full point PPR. My main one's in Yahoo. I got a few ESPNs, and I got a free league on the NFL league, or whatever it is. It's not the greatest app ever. Half the time, my team doesn't even show up, so that's always fun. But guys, I'm going to mainly focus on my Yahoo team right now. But I'm also going to talk about different excitement of different players and disappointments here in week 1. So excitement for week 1, guys. I got 3 players here that really kicked off and was quite impressive this week. That I really didn't think they would reach this point total just yet this year. First off is Kyler Murray, Arizona's quarterback. That guy blew up this week against Tennessee Titans. I thought the Tennessee Titans defense was a little better than what it's shown, and let's just say that was a rough game there. Kyler Murray finished with 40 points, 289 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, and he also had 20 rushing yards and a TD as well. Obviously, Kyler Murray really connected off of DeAndre Hopkins, who had a huge game as well, and also Christian Kirk's. That's the thing with Kyler Murray this year, is that's what we're going to see. I don't think we'll see 40 points every game, but you're going to see him probably between that 25, 35 point mark pretty consistently. So it's going to be kind of tough to trade high or low for him, but if you can get, if you can somehow grab the guy without giving up your whole entire starting team, you might be looking all right. The next guy that comes to mind here, as I was looking through, is Tyreek Hill, guys, for the Kansas City Chiefs. And we'll touch more based on Tyreek as well later on the show. But he had 36 points, 15 targets, 11 receptions, 197 yards, a touchdown. Patrick Mahomes also finished with 38 points as well in our Yahoo league for points-wise. And that's just impressive by alone. Tyreek Hill, obviously, just first game of the season against a really good defense with Cleveland. We know they're not slouches by any means. And Patrick Mahomes did get pressured a few times as well, with the offensive line still figuring life out against a really great defensive rush. And like I said, we'll talk more Chiefs here on Wednesday here. But like the fact that he's at 36 points, I could see some consistency coming out of this guy being that way, because there's just not a lot of targets right now at the Chiefs. And outside Travis Kelce, maybe Clyde, you got a bunch of 4s trying to play the 2, 3, 4 wide receiver role right now, and hopefully that will get fixed. But I mean, look at Tyreek Hill to be consistent, probably around that 20 to 30 mark each week as well, which is at this moment kind of what he's looking at. My final guy, guys, for excitement here is Russell Wilson, Seattle's quarterback. 34 points, 254 yards, 4 touchdowns against the Lions. And man, he threw some balls that he throws all the time, and he looked really great. Connected with Tyler Lockett multiple times. The tight end as well. I can't even think of his name right now. Who was just out of my league, second string from Gerald Everett. So, it's the guy is going to be consistent. Him and Kyler Murray kind of guys, you're going to get points. You're going to get between that 25 to 35 consistently. Russell Wilson, every year in, year out, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get that 30 point probably more weeks than not. So, these are kind of guys that I'm excited about that really took off this week versus what I thought they would be kind of a downfall on there. How about we talk disappointments real quick here, guys? Julio Jones, Tennessee Titans, who did face Arizona Cardinals defense that was pretty insane. Julio had 5 points, 6 targets, only 3 receptions and 29 yards. He also had that dumb personal foul deal with the Titans, but he did not look good. It didn't look like he was cutting the routes like he's used to. I don't know if that's just maybe compliments of Arizona getting pressure on Tannehill, not giving him the time. But I don't necessarily don't think we'll see this consistently. I think you'll see Julio Jones going forward definitely be a force on this offense. But yeah, it was kind of surprising to see that's all he got, 5 points, considering it's Julio Jones, guys. So there's that. Cortland Sutton, guys, with Denver is my next guy, the wide receiver. He only had 2 points on 3 targets, 1 reception, and 14 yards. I expected this guy to be a little bit more involved in the offense. Yes, he's coming off the ACL injury from last year, and it was his first game back. Great, fabulous, wonderful. But I expected more coming out of this guy. Obviously, Jerry Jeudy is now, well, I guess we're kind of waiting to see. I didn't see the full report yet today. But, he got carted off with that high ankle injury. He could be out possibly the next couple games. So I'm looking at Cortland Sutton to do a bounce back the next couple weeks here as he gets back on the field, get more familiar with stuff here, and hopefully Teddy Bridgewater can find the guy. I'm not too concerned about that, but it was a surprise for me and a pretty disappointment as well. And finally, guys, I'm not going to talk about him the rest of the show of what's happening, but Aaron Rodgers, -1 points, 133 yards, 2 interceptions, and 0 touchdowns. I have Aaron Rodgers in one of my ESPN leagues, and I was up going into the 3 o'clock games, and if at the time, if you told me that Aaron Rodgers would not score me 1 point, but lose me a point, and I would not win this game, this matchup in fantasy football because of Aaron Rodgers, I'd laugh at you. I would laugh, and I would laugh at your face. I laughed at my face afterwards because Aaron Rodgers scored me -1 while Stafford blew up on the bench. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that Aaron Rodgers was? This is what happened here. Obviously, I don't expect this to be consistent. I don't think he's botching Packers. I don't think he's doing anything with them. I think they had 31 players not play this offseason that play regular season ball. 31. Obviously, you're going to have issues. You have 2 rookie guys on the offensive line right up the middle there. You're going to have issues. You're going to have issues with the pass rush against the Saints. The Saints don't have a bad pass rush, guys. You got to remember this, too. So, obviously, I don't see Aaron Rodgers back up. It was a big disappointment, especially on my side, because I ended up losing that match due to quarterback play. I lost by 20, which was something Aaron Rodgers would obviously get me at least 25 to 30 most times. So, a really unfortunate day for the Packers fans and Aaron Rodgers, but guys, don't expect this to be a consistent thing. I see Aaron Rodgers bouncing back next week here against the Lions, no problem. So, like I said, it was kind of a surprising excitement, disappointment week on some big names that had bad games, but also some different names with great games. But guys, we'll talk more fantasy football here on Wednesday. on our show, 8 p.m. Central, live on YouTube. Just search Sports Buffoons and you should see it right at the top there. Now, today's other little topic here is fantasy football as well, and we're going to play a little game today. We're going to play Two Truths and a Lie. A little version, for fantasy football version. I got 3 players, guys, in mind here. I'm going to let you know who's the truth, and who's a lie. And these are kind of guys that I look back on, and I'm like, all right, are these guys really going to see this consistent, play? Are we going to see these points be every week, or are we going to see a drop off here? There's some players out there that had a great game, yes, but I see a few that could drop off. But hey, let's jump into it here on the Two Truths and a Lie. So my first guy is DeAndre Swift for the Detroit Lions running back. He is the truth. Now, there was lots of questions going off season. He didn't participate really at all during the preseason. He had possibly a personal issue go on in Philadelphia where he might have got not charged, but he was in the rumor mill of a potential shooting. He also had a leg injury kind of throughout the offseason. It was kind of a really confusing time for DeAndre Swift. And also the guys running, us drafting fantasy football. Do you draft him? Do you wait? Do you not? Did you take the chance? It's hard. Well, this weekend, guys, he did get 23 points. He had 11 attempts at rushing for 39 yards. But here's the big thing, and this is what's going to be consistent. This is why he's the truth here. He had 11 targets, 8 receptions, 65 yards, and 1 touchdown. Detroit here is they're going to throw the balls. They're going to throw the ball to the running backs. They do not have wide receivers out there. DeAndre Swift is going to be possibly their leading considered wide out, right, for this team. It is not a great depth team for playmakers. Now, Detroit threw a total of 20 total targets to running backs between Jamal Williams, who had 9 targets, and the 11 targets from DeAndre Swift. Tight end TJ Hawkinson had 10 targets. So out of the 56 throws Jared Goff made, 30 of them were not to any wideouts. Not one wideout out of those 30. That's just insane. That's insane, but that brings DeAndre Swift's value so much higher. That brings Jamal Williams' value so much higher. That brings TJ Hawkinson so much higher. Because there's nobody to go to, right? So if we look back at 2020 when Jared Goff was with the Rams, he threw to the tight end and the running back a total of 164 times out of 562 targets that year. But he also had Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods on that team. You have Quintez Cephas and Trinity Benson leading your wide receivers in targets at 7 and 6. Who? Yeah, exactly. Who? Nobody knows these guys. Detroit, obviously, if you've heard on the show, it is not one of our favorites teams to talk about. But they do have opportunity here between those 3 guys. Look at them to get tons of targets, tons of receptions. They're going to be great for PPR because they're going to be the only ones really getting throws. So DeAndre Swift is the truth running back, and look for him to be consistent between around that 15 to 25 mark as well all year long. All right, next guy who is a truth, and you're going to see this why, and we kind of talked about it already as well earlier. Tyreek Hill, guys. Tyreek Hill, wide receiver for the KC Chiefs, is the truth. He had 36 points, again, 15 targets, 11 receptions, 197 yards, 1 touchdown. As I got my drink here. The next targets to Hill is, of course, Travis Kelce. He had 7 targets. And we all know Travis Kelce, best tight end in the league, by far. The guy is going to be open all the times. But Tyreek Hill here, there's nobody after the guy. Outside of Travis Kelce, who you consider a wide receiver, there's nobody there. And we're gonna get into it on our Wednesday show as well. But your number 2, number 3, even your number 4 option at wideout isn't there. You're not going to have them do anything. Hardman couldn't get off the ball. Pringle never played. Robinson, Lord, he's the only one that whoever seems to get open, but he only had 3 targets. Like, it's bad, guys. It's not bad, but it's rough in KC. Rough in KC from a a weapons standpoint, right? Outside of maybe Clyde, right? Clyde, who is a big part of the offense as well, obviously. He did get a few more targets. I think it was the out of the 4 top ones, he was number 4. So you had, or no, he was number 3. I'm sorry, and then it was the wide receivers after that. So it's upsetting. It's upsetting as a Chiefs fan because we had Sammy Watkins last year or in the last few years, and he was that third option. It was a solid third option, and then you can go Damian Williams at that time, or Clyde, or whoever it needs to be. So look, 34 targets. Sorry, out of 34 targets that Pat Mahomes threw to these guys, Tyreek had 15 of them. Tyreek is going to be consistent this year, guys. In 135 targets, and he had 135 targets in 2020, with a 17-game season this year, he's going to surpass that by far. I think he's going to 150 targets this year. Just the way this offense is set up right now. So look at Tyreek to be consistent. He is a truth. He's going to consistently get you that 25 to 35 because the Chiefs don't have any more options. Patrick Mahomes is going to have to go possibly deep a few times, but Tyreek Hill is going to get a lot of those passes. So Tyreek Hill, truth. Moving on here, guys. Now we get the lie. Who's the lie? This guy is a year 2 starter. This guy had 34 points against 34 points this weekend against the Atlanta Falcons, I believe. 264 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He had 7 rushing attempts for 62 yards. Jalen Hurts, quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. He is the lie in this group here. This guy is not going to be consistent. He's not going to score 34 points consistently, especially over these next 6 weeks before he plays Detroit in 7 weeks from now. The guy is going to be, it's going to be a nut up or shut up in the end, right? He's going to see what he's really all about. So the reason this guy is a lie is due to the future schedule coming in the next 6 weeks. He just had the Falcons, which is whatever. They're not a great defense by any means. They're a really bad team overall. But now you got to go into the 49ers, who have a great defense now. Or not great defense, but it's good defense. They give the Detroit quite a fit, but Detroit did kind of make that comeback. But, I mean, you got great players on that 49ers team. Cowboys, who competed against Tom Brady on Thursday. We saw that defense there, and that they look pretty good, I'd say. The Chiefs, Tyrann Mathieu should be back. Frank Clark should be back, I'd imagine. Chris Jones stepped up second half of that game versus the Browns. Well, this is going to be pass rush is going to come at you, and that's the biggest thing right now. Carolina didn't look too bad on defense. Tampa Bay, of course, isn't bad with all their fast linebackers. Hopefully they get some of their secondary healthy. But, you got the Raiders after that? And the Raiders you just saw them take out Lamar Jackson here in overtime, too. So, they don't look too bad. They got a couple guys that can rush you and put some pressure on Jalen. I don't think Jalen has the weapons. He doesn't have the weapons to be able to contain these teams, to contain these defenses, to bring out these 34-point games for fantasy reasons, right? So pending injuries, of course. All these defenses here I just named, they're all top 15 by the end of the season, easy top 15. Even the Raiders, guys. Obviously you got Detroit after the Raiders, so there's some chance there where maybe you start him there, keep him on your bench, but I would not start this guy. And then if you think about it too, for Jalen Hurts, guys, he has to go into each of these teams and not just worry about the defense, but do you really trust him being in a shootout with a Garoppolo-Lance combo at 49ers, a Dak Prescott, a Patrick Mahomes, Sam Darnold, who could have his career revived here with the Panthers? And of course, you have the GOAT Tom Brady and Derek Carr. All right, he didn't look that great today, but their offense does enough where, they just went into a shootout with Lamar Jackson, for God's sake. So, there's stuff to worry about for Jalen Hurts. And Jalen, to be successful, to be able to score, let's just say between 25 to 35 points here consistently throughout these next 6-7 weeks, it's going to rely on Miles Sanders in that run game. That run game has to be a force. That O-line has to be a force, and they need to They need to be able to get that play action working here. Get those, like you have to have that in your mind here. But I mean, those are all tough run defenses as well. I just named. So obviously, it relies not just on Jalen. It relies on Miles Sanders and that offensive line and getting a run game going. So Jalen Hurts, guys, to me, it's a lie, a big lie. I haven't liked him all. I didn't like him at all year, and it might be biased on my side, but I don't like Jalen Hurts to be this guy that scores above 30 for the next at least the 6 weeks. Anyways, guys, those are my two truths and a lie kind of combo here. I just thought it was a little fun game here. But hey, thanks for joining in. Thanks for listening. Please, if you haven't yet, please go follow. Please go like. Please subscribe. And hit that bell if you hear this on YouTube as well. We will be live 8 p.m. Central on Wednesday. Every Wednesday on YouTube. Just look up Sports Buffoons and you should see your top video there on the page. You know what, guys? Give me your thoughts too. Give me your thoughts of who's your exciting fantasy players you saw this week you thought was pretty impressive. Who was your losers in the week as well? Are you really disappointed in Aaron Rodgers that much, or do you not feel he might come back? That's something great. I would love to hear about. Give us a tweet, leave a comment on Facebook, wherever you guys want to hit us at. But yeah, anyways, guys, thanks for joining. Finish up your drink. Have a great day. Thanks all.